So, ladies and gentlemen, here I welcome the panel on stage. I'll start with Mr. Nara Lokesh. I'd like to add a few more words. First of all, he comes from an incredible education background. So, sir, I was very impressed with that. You've been to Carnegie Mellon and, of course, gone ahead and done your master's as well. And extremely deep-rooted value. But more importantly, which really caught my eye, that he's done a 200-day Padyatra. And in that Padyatra, he's gone to 97 constituencies and touched 1.5 crore lives. And in those lives is where he met a lot of women from different stratas of the society who got forth the issues of gender stereotypes. And that has influenced him to go ahead and make reforms, not just in terms of women empowerment, but also in the education system. Something that I read about him, which was very, very interesting, is that even in the education system, जो हमारे books होते थे, उसमें कुछ ऐसे pictures होते थे जहाँ पर there's a lady in the kitchen and the man in the living room. He's gone ahead to change that, is because that's where it starts from. So, sir, thank you so much for doing that. Truly coming from a woman who's working in a male-dominated sport.
Hi, I'm Lokesh. I'm a third-generation politician. So I did my bachelor's at Carnegie Mellon, worked at the World Bank for 2 years, Stanford MBA. Came back to the family business. Not many of you know Mr. Naidu is also a successful entrepreneur. He has a dairy business. It's called Heritage Foods. It's a listed company. Then my wife came back to business. She threw me out. So then came into politics. So she's my sugar mommy. She pays for my credit card bills. And, I think I really appreciate the opening remarks that you made. And, breaking gender stereotypes is something that's very passionate for us as a family. And we believe that, I think empowerment is a very harsh word that we use at home. I believe that the environment should be enabling, where equal opportunities are given. And I had the opportunity again to be the education minister. In the past life, I was Panchayat Raj and Rural Development. As education minister, I said, this is my chance and let's do it right. And yes, first grade and second grade textbooks, household chores, the pictures are all women who do it. And I said, that's the first place we need to start. It should be 50-50. Obviously, there's a lot of hue and cry, but I said, that's what Brahmani and I did. Because we got married young, we went to the US, and we did household work, 50-50. We had no issues with it. So I said, it should start from textbooks, and I've been working with the government and the movie industry to break those stereotypes. To the amazing ladies from the Telugu heartland, I think you'll appreciate that there are some words that we unfortunately use in Telugu language. Are you wearing bangles? Are you, cheera kattukunava? Are you wearing a sari? Or don't cry like a girl. These are things which are used widely, and this is what I want to put a full stop to. And that's something that I'm very vocal about. I'm talking about it everywhere I go. I need greater support, and I'm here to just learn from all of you, because you've come to achieve so much, and honestly, we are all inspired. I'm awestruck. It's very unfair that I'm sitting here, I should be sitting there, and you should be on the dais. Because what you've come to achieve is simply amazing against all odds. You're here, with the amazing leadership that's there. Really make India proud, and we are all with you.
But Harman, I'd like to get your point here, is because you're in the thick of things. You're in the middle of it. You've been there when you were playing, and now you've got the youngsters coming in like Kranti and Shri. How different is their attitude as compared to when you came in? And how different are their challenges as compared to when you came in?
Well, I think they are totally different. When I came in the team, that time we were struggling with a lot of other things, like providing grounds or facilities or more number of games. But right now, for God's grace, BCCI is doing such a good thing for us. And I think they all have all the experience watching us on the TV, knowing when I played my first ODI World Cup, I didn't even know like other teams like Australia, England. I didn't even know how they play, what they do. So when I was there, I was continuously asking Julandi and Anjumdi what they do, how fast they ball, so what I have to do. So I think that time preparation was nothing, but still we were aiming to win World Cup, or preparing ourselves in that way. We want to bring the change for our country. But right now I think for these girls everything is available and their mindset is totally different. So playing with them is more easier than playing back.
Oh, lovely. Smriti, well, as the captain of RCB, and the fact that the fact that it was the women's team who first got the cup to RCB and then the men's team. But more importantly, what really, really touched everyone's heart is the fact that you got the same kind of appreciation from the crowd of the Chinnaswamy as much as, back in the day, Virat Kohli or Fab du Plessis was getting it. So that was very heartening to see. But having said that, just in terms of the brand of cricket that you're approaching, which is fearless cricket, are the women here today who are coming in with the same attitude, or it changes when they come into the ecosystem?
Yeah, I mean, firstly, the first question, whenever I walked into Chinnaswamy, I mean, it was a surreal feeling. I remember the second season of WPL. That was the first home game for us at Chinnaswamy. Not very emotional person, but first time when I walked in for the toss. And I remember in 2017 watching a men's match and telling my mom, I think she was with me, and I was like, I don't know when this will happen for women's cricket, yeah, mom. And I don't think it will ever happen. Because, I mean, there's hardly anyone who used to watch prior to the 2017 World Cup. And my mom was like, don't talk anything. I'm sure you guys will have it. So think always positive. And I mean, when I entered the field for the toss, I could not hear Mel Jones asking me question. And I looked around, and the first thing, I did not think about, Smriti Mandhana, RCB or something. I just felt like, wow, women's cricket is winning. I mean, that's what all of us dreamt. I'm sure the previous generations as well, whenever they would watch a WPL being sold out or the Indian matches being sold out, I'm sure that was the first dream for everyone, that, we want the same kind of a thing for, like, in terms of the stadiums.
Lokesh sir, in the stories that you've just heard, what are your takeaways from it as someone who can bring about changes in the policy?
I mean, it's really inspiring. I think each one of you come with very different background. And as a policymaker, it's very humbling that, there are things that are going right, and definitely there are areas to improve. Your captain just shared with me that, in your books you should have any sporting pictures, women. And then, it will really get people to think. I think when girls are looking at it, they'll start dreaming that, yes, I have a chance. It took her almost 2 years to convince her father. I mean, that's a bigger fight than actually playing for India. But it's really inspiring that a lot of effort has gone in different ways, and they've been supported by their family in different ways. So as a policymaker, this is exactly what I'm looking forward to, is trying to figure out, what are those changes that we can do to break that stereotypes further. And see, for you and me, we're more urban. But then if you still go back to the rural, these unfortunately still continue. And then how do you sort of remove these deep-rooted stereotypes is what I'm struggling with. I believe it starts with cinemas. They play a very important role. So I did talk about it with the Chief Minister, with the Deputy Chief Minister, that we should actually figure out a mechanism for it. Of course, education is my role. It's not easier because I can do it. But I need support from all of you. I think I'm looking forward to guidance. An amazing idea for the captain game. It's stuck in my head. Like, this is one thing I need to do. These are little ideas that I think you can bring about change. And all of you, please look at yourselves as change makers of society. And it takes, all of you together, hand in hand, to bring about that change. So, I see that at home. I see that with my mother, who used to run the business till Brahmani came in, my wife, and I see the way Brahmani is now balancing. We have a child, we have an only child, he's 10 years old, so she actually does all the heavy lifting because an absentee father. But, if you have to achieve great things, you have to sacrifice. And it's important that, all of us here celebrate success, and that's what we discuss, apart from blackmailing parents. But definitely celebrate success. I think that's the responsibility of politicians. I think Mithali just shared, that's how the Chief Minister did it. A lot of the sportsperson today also shared during the National Sports Day event, that how the Chief Minister celebrated it. So I think it's had an impact. And what I would look forward to hearing from you is, how do we continue this? I think apart from celebrating a victory, how do you sort of continue this, make it part of a culture, make it part of a rhythm, make it part of our fundamental fabric? Then I think it will really inspire a generation of youngsters now to come to sports. And more than even youngsters and girls coming in, I think parents willing to. So that's where I believe that change should happen, and that's what I look forward to hearing from all of you. even after the session, any crazy idea, we are here to implement. As a state, we are all open to hear from you. And we look forward to, sort of taking these ideas and getting the rubber to meet the road, if I can say.
So before I open this space for the women here to sort of contribute as to what is happening in women cricket already and how are the kind of reforms that they're looking forward to, from you I'd first like to understand the contributions that Andhra Pradesh has already made towards sport. And first of all, what do you make of the disparity between men and women in cricket and the recent reforms that have been gotten by BCCI and for that matter even ICC? What do you make of that?
No, as a state, we believe in the grassroots movement, right? And that's where, as education minister, I have a role to play. That's where we did this entire, almost a month-long program. And this is about 10 sports. And we're looking at what are the opportunities to sort of pick up youngsters and give them a platform to excel. And if you look at the leadership of our chief minister, historically he supported sports. You look at it way back in 2000, the sports village that Hyderabad has today is all the work that's happened then. The Afro-Asian Games came back then. He had a dream that Olympics should come to India way back in 2000. 25 years later, we had to get there. But I think this is just the beginning. And we want to back this up with building world-class infrastructure. Specifically in cricket, I will lean on the ACA to do their bit because they have a little bit more money. And then, under the leadership here, there's a lot more that we can achieve, and specifically on cricket. In terms of gender disparity, I mean, it's not just in sports. Whether we accept it or not, it's happening across board. It happens even in politics. And the question is that if true change has to happen, I believe that it has to start with education. And hamare ghar mein shuru ho raha hai, change. So I keep telling, whenever I go to any college events or school events, I keep telling them that, you go home, you talk about it. You should question. And if anyone says anything, tell that Lokesh is there. So I'm saying, you should talk about it. Because respecting women starts at home. And that's when I believe that we can truly transform. If you look at, we as a political establishment have internships that we do every year. And one internship we did all women. And my question was, let's talk about women's safety and how other states have sort of structured. And it's amazing to see that Northeast is far lower than any other states. That's because the way that they've structured their property rights and the way it all flows comes down. So I think we have a lot to learn in that sense. In terms of cricket, all of you are experts here. I'm no way an expert. But I believe that steps have been taken in the right direction. It could be BCCI or even ICC. A lot of efforts are being taken to support. Definitely new leagues will help, identify talent, promote. But then I think all of us have to come out and cheer in big numbers in support of the team and to be with them and really see this entire exercise through. And end of the day, they're all icons sitting here and we have to celebrate.
You asked for some random idea. I think I walked into Visakhapatnam Stadium. All the stands are named after men. So when Julandi got her first stand named...
That's wonderful.
So when Julandi got her stand named in Eden Garden, I mean, genuinely watching the whole video made me feel very emotional that that iconic stadium of Eden Garden is going to have a women cricketer on it. And yeah, I mean, any stadium I walk into, there are, 10 on 10 are mostly men. And I feel we have a lot of legendary ex-women cricketers who deserve to have a stand named on them. So I would just, as you said, you can start and a lot of other state associations will follow.
That's amazing. That is amazing. Let's give that a huge round of applause. Now go to the local talent, Shri Charni. Can we please give a mic to Shri here? Shri, a lot of responsibility on you because today in this room you're not only representing India, but you're also representing, the state, this place where you come from. So tell us about your story and also जिस तरीके का contribution रहा है state की तरफ से आपके cricket में.
So basically I'm from Kadapa.
Yeah.
From south side of Andhra. So my cricket journey started when I was kid. So when I was 7-8 years old, my mama used to make me play cricket. So it started like that. Then in our village there is no professional cricket. So it's like only gully cricket we have. So in like professional, we only have Coco, athletics, everything. Rather than cricket, everything is there. So after my ninth class, I only decided to play cricket professionally. So I spoke with my mother, and it took little time for my father to accept this decision which I took. So I think nearly 2 years it took for my father to accept this decision. Then so I think because of my mother, he accepted after 2 years professionally for playing cricket. And then when he accepted, COVID came again, 2 years got wasted. Then I played under directly because of COVID. We had direct Pro Bulls, so I played under 19 Pro Bulls and I got selected for that. Then I played state matches. Then same year I got selected for under 19 challengers. So 2 years I played under 19 challengers. It went like that. Then after 5 years of my professional cricket journey, then I got selected for WPL. Then now I got selected for India.
How did you convince your father, though?
I think I used to tell him like I don't write exams. I used to tell him like that. Then I think after my inter, he accepted actually.
Lovely. Let's give the girl a huge round of applause. Yes, please, sir. Please.
If there is an advice you would give to me to make sure all fathers accept within the 2 years of you ask, what should it be? How should we get fathers to accept? Or even the society at large to agree to it? Apart from blackmailing, which clearly you're good at, so all of you need to be careful now. But
So maybe they may come out and see how it changed. Like, it's not like before, no sir. It had changed a lot. If we see, when I was kid only, if I see, it had changed a lot. If we see now, so I feel if they come out, if they see how girls are educated now, so they may accept. The scare will go from them.
so greater exposure
Yes sir.
and celebrate successes, I guess. Fair. Thank you.
When I used to go like for tournaments and all, my study used to suffer. But like so for people, for me, like my maths and all formulas are not clear because I didn't study at that time. So I started playing early, like third or fourth. So if you can like provide different education for like the sports people, because it's very hard to cope up with all the others. So matlab, we used to get a lot less time. 10 दिन मिलते थे to study all the syllabus. So like if we can get like little exemption on that.
No, this is a very valid point. A lot of the sports personalities actually echo this. In fact, this evening, before I came here in the discussion we had, Gopichand exactly raised this issue. And so we just led a delegation to Singapore, and there's a sports university in Singapore. So the Honorable Chief Minister and I actually spent good 3 hours understanding how they figure out, the intersection between your interest in sports and education. And how are these degrees sort of validated? I think we came back, we learnt a lot in the whole process, and that's something that I'll take quite seriously and see how we can sort of give a hand holding in that sense and take things forward. So, but that's a very valid point. I think a lot of people are struggling. And this is not just women, it even applies to men. Everyone seems to be struggling with this. And Gopichand actually shared his experience. It was quite funny. So he was punished because he would sleep in class. Because he would play badminton in the morning, go to school, and he would sleep in class. So, and he said, even today he's bad in maths. So I think that really struck a chord, and thank you for echoing this. And this is something we're going to take it up quite seriously. Appreciate it. Thank
I could relate to Shri coming from Sangli. I mean, it's again a rural area. The first thing the parents feel is that my girl is going to go to an academy where she's going to be outnumbered with a lot of boys. How is she going to manage? That's one thing how we can provide a lot of security to parents, have rural camps, more camps for women and more awareness around women's cricket in smaller towns, that it's a safe place. I mean, there's nothing which is going to go wrong, or government takes actions around how things can be more safe for small girls going and playing cricket. That's one thing, because I mean, I'm a Marwadi, so my parents were like, I mean, girls don't play cricket. You're supposed to just get married, and you know, all those things are not like right. But yeah, I mean, you know, that's if they had that security around, that thought would have never come. That's one thing. And the second, you asked for some random idea. I think I walked into Visakhapatnam Stadium. All the stands are named after men. So when Julandi got her first stand named,
That's wonderful.
so when Julandi got her stand named in Eden Garden, I mean, genuinely watching the whole video made me feel very emotional that that iconic stadium of Eden Garden is going to have a women cricketer on it. And yeah, I mean, any stadium I walk into, there are, I mean, 10 on 10 are mostly men, and I feel we have a lot of legendary ex-women cricketers who deserve to have a stand named on them. So I would just, I mean, as you said, you can start, and a lot of other state associations will follow.
That's amazing. That is amazing. Let's give that a huge round of applause. Any more ideas? Anyone, Jimmy?
No, like Kranti faced it in the rural areas. Like I came from, by God's grace, came from a good family who could afford a cricket kit. But just to buy a simple cricket kit with pads, shoes, helmet, bat would cost a lot of money for a family, a humble family who cannot afford it. Maybe one of the reasons why they don't encourage their kids to play also is because of the cost factor. Like she had to go on tour, she didn't have money to go on tour. And every parent would worry about that too. So if something can be done even for that, maybe even providing a small kit bag to start on, maybe that will lead to a lot of big things, or even like something like a pocket money kind of a thing also, but which will help them to go out and play cricket, like the basic expenditures. I think that would also be a great thing to start off.
Sir, making sports as a mandatory subject in schools, और क्योंकि हमारे टाइम पे जब स्पोर्ट्स पीरियड होता था तो टीचर्स ले लेते थे कि स्पोर्ट्स खेल के क्या करेंगे, हम पढ़ा लेते हैं सब. तो ये होता है, आई डोंट नो कि मोस्ट ऑफ द स्कूल्स में ऐसा होता है कि कोई भी टीचर रैंडमली आके कि चलो हम पढ़ा लेंगे एक सब्जेक्ट, स्पोर्ट्स पीरियड तो ज़ीरो पीरियड माना जाता था. सो आई थिंक दैट वुड बी अ ग्रेट चेंज कि अगर स्पोर्ट्स पीरियड ऐड किया जाए.
यार लार्जर इकोसिस्टम में ये दिक्कत है कि इनफ ऑफ ट्रेनर्स नहीं है. So, अगर गवर्नमेंट स्कूल में देखें तो हमारे पास तो ऑलमोस्ट 43,000 स्कूल्स है, वो प्राइमरी एंड हाई स्कूल, बट पीटी टीचर्स नहीं है. फर्स्ट प्रॉब्लम. सेकंड ये हो रहा है कि प्लेग्राउंड नहीं है खेलने के लिए. सो अब ये दोनों मैच करके हम ये कर रहे हैं कि 10 साल के प्रोग्राम लेना है. ये एक साल में नहीं होगा और एक पॉलिसी में नहीं होगा. ऑनेस्टली आई एम बीइंग वेरी कैंडिड. एक 10 साल का प्रोग्राम लेके वो चेंज लाना है. एंड हम तो, हमारा प्रॉब्लम तो उल्टा था. जब मैं पढ़ते थे भवन्स में, कभी भी टीचर नहीं आते थे क्लास को, जाके भाग के क्रिकेट ही खेलते थे. श्रवण भी है इधर मेरा क्लासमेट, हम सब लोग भाग के क्रिकेट खेलते थे. अब की प्रॉब्लम डिफरेंट हो गया है. आपके पास तो 2 तेलुगु बच्चे हैं और उन्होंने बोल सकते हैं कि यार आंध्रा में ये प्रॉब्लम हो रहा है कि आप पूरे मार्क्स के ऊपर जा रहे हैं एजुकेशन सिस्टम. इनफैक्ट लर्निंग आउटकम्स के पास नहीं, आउटपुट हो गया पूरा सिस्टम कि कितने मार्क्स आए, ये कितने रैंक आ गया. पूरे सिस्टम बहुत स्क्यू हो गया. एंड लर्निंग आउटकम्स के ऊपर कुछ भी टेस्टिंग नहीं हो रहा है. वो मेरा बड़ा कंसर्न है एज अ मिनिस्टर. सो आपका भी पॉइंट वेरी वैलिड है, एंड बट आई बिलीव इट विल टेक टाइम. अनफॉर्चुनेटली आई डोंट हैव अ मैजिक वॉन्ड इन दैट सेंस, बट आई टेक योर पॉइंट एंड दिस इज समथिंग आई विल पर्सनली ड्राइव टू मेक स्पोर्ट्स मैंडेटेड. एंड 2, एज ए सेड, वो ग्रास रूट का मूवमेंट क्रिएट करना है. सो हमने ये किया, सब लोग को बुक भी भेजूंगा जब रेडी होगा. योगांध्रा का एक एक्टिविटी किया था इधर, जब प्रधानमंत्री साहब आ रहे थे. 30 डे प्रोग्राम किया कि हर गांव में योगा सीखना है. जिनका मन होने दो, कुछ भी होने दो, सीख लो, बस थोड़ी करो. ग्रास रूट मूवमेंट करेंगे. 30 डेज मूवमेंट करके यही विशाखापट्टनम में, यही बीच रोड, 3 लाख लोग से प्रधानमंत्री के साथ हमने योगा क्रिएट किया. वी क्रिएटेड अ रिकॉर्ड. So we could do it in 30 days in yoga. But I believe that grassroots का movement बहुत important है. And we will do it. And what we did for the National Sports Day, I believe, is just the first step. We had only 26,000 participants. I believe it should be 3 lakh. And I believe it should at least be 50% women. And that's what the agenda with which we will drive it. So thank you for your feedback.